Hi guys, Jake here from Base Factory Performance Training. In this video, I'm going to do a 10-minute mobility routine specifically for soccer players to help them either prepare for a game or cool down from a game so that they can have healthy joints and reduce injury risk. All right, so the first position we're going to start with is called the runner stretch. It's where you have your feet, one in back, one is up by your hands in line with your shoulders, with this hip extended. So you're mainly stretching the hip flexors on this side, as well as you're stretching the hip on the side that's in front. And I like to rock side to side to try and kind of feel how it feels in the joint, as well as trying to see if there's areas that feel worse than others. And the reason why this is the way that I prefer to do it is because if I'm trying to be active in a stretch, I like to be moving instead of just passively stretching. So after we've been in this position for a little bit, then I like to drop my hip and turn my head to the shoulder that's opposite. So being able to look over the shoulder, this is going to really stretch your lateral abdomen or your obliques. And a lot of the times we don't really stretch these, but just kind of like hanging, feeling that stretch through here, through this side of the hip. Feels really nice. Still kind of trying to move through it. And then once you feel like you've been there for long enough, then we're going to reach the other direction. I go down to my forearm because it feels better. You can stay up like this, but I feel like I get more of a stretch in my lats and in my shoulders when I do this, because I'm trying to push the knee that's in front that direction, and I'm trying to reach the opposite direction. And then once we've finished that, we come here onto our forearms. And if you can't be in this position, just go tall with palms on the ground. But if you can, be on your elbows. And a note as far as like how to position yourself in the hips, the back leg, you want to try and contract the glute so that you can enhance the stretch in the front of the hip. So the next position is kind of like a pigeon pose that you would find in yoga. So you go to the knife edge of the foot with the palm of the foot going that way. And this is going to really emphasize the side of the hip because we're externally rotating the femur. This one feels pretty tight, but still trying to kind of move through the range of motion, being active. Then we're going to come back, and now we're going to do a couple contract relaxes. So we're going to extend that back knee, flex the glute so that we feel a good stretch in the front of the hip. Do that for about a 4-second contraction and then relax. And then I like to do like between 4 to 6. I'm just going to do 4 today. Really feel that stretch in the front of the hip. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to push ourselves back to stretch the hamstring. We contract the quads so that we can enhance that stretch. But then we're going to rock forward, and then we're going to stretch the ankle so that we can have more dorsiflexion. So then rock back, walk forward. This one's really good all around, getting the hips, knees, and ankles. Using your hands to kind of walk yourself forward and backward. Now we're going to switch sides because we want to be even. So we're starting in that runner stretch position with knee in line with the shoulder. Remember to kind of test out how your glutes feel when you contract them. If that stretch in that front of the hip feels good. Looks like I need to tie my shoes. But just kind of rocking side to side, feeling the different context of different positions. Then once we're good there, we're going to drop the hip to the side. You can have your shoulder shrug up if you want. I like to try and push it down so I have a little more space for my hip to drop down. Really open up that lateral seam. Remember to breathe as well, because when you inhale in a position like this, you feel a little bit more stretched because you have more air in your lungs, and so it's like, and then you might be able to find that you have a little bit more range in that stretch. Now we're going to come back. Now we're going to reach in the opposite direction, pushing the front knee out and then reaching in the opposite direction. You're going to feel a good stretch in your lats and in your hips. Coming back to center on the forearms if you can. If not, you can be on your hands. Now we're going to come back to the tall position. We're going to go to the knife edge of the foot into this pigeon-like pose. I like to rock into this side a little bit. Remembering to breathe. Now we're going to do those contract relaxes where we extend the back knee, contract the glute, push the hip towards the floor. 4 seconds, and then relax. Bringing the knee back down. This is the third one. Good. Now we're going to do the hamstring rock back to the ankle stretch. And we're going to do that about 5 times. Remember to contract the quad against the hamstring. And it's okay if your heel lifts. It's how we know that we're at the end range of motion. Try and get your chest up to get more extension into that back leg's hip. One more time. And that is our 10-minute mobility for soccer players. The main reason that you should do this mobility routine is because many of the times that we work with athletes, we notice that they're doing all the stuff for getting stronger and faster, but they aren't doing anything to help protect their joints and their tendons. And it's really important for joint health to be able to do these mobility routines. For this one specifically, we focused on hips, we focused on knees, we focused on ankles. And those are the main things that are going to make you a great soccer player and be more injury resilient when you do get injured. Because in sports, injuries are going to happen, but being able to have the range of motion and the mobility makes it a little bit easier to recover from those injuries. And as far as when to do this, I would mainly recommend it on after a game or after a training session, because we are lengthening the muscles and lengthening the tendons quite a bit, and we don't want to lengthen the tendons and muscles too much when we're trying to increase power and increase strength. But if you do it before a training session or before a game, the main purpose for that should be so that you feel less pain in the game. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We'll have links to our social media down below. And we'll also include a link to do a free movement assessment in the description below. The reason why this is very helpful is because we'll be able to go over all the movement and flexibility and mobility things that you have going on with you as an athlete, and we can help you be able to move better, feel better, and play better.